Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Horror Lives live stream. I'm your host, Hector. We are going to be talking various topics here with my pal, Trace from Pierce Productions. But before we get started, just some housekeeping. I'm going to be putting out my review for Nightmare Alley on this Monday. So look out for that tomorrow. And then I'm currently working on my favorites and not so favorites for the year. Just say 2021 horror roundup. So keep an eye out for that. So now that we got that done, let's go ahead and introduce Trace. How are you doing, Trace?
Hey, what's up, everybody?
All right,
So
thanks.
Hector is taking my live stream virginity today.
All right, thanks for letting me.
Someone had to do it.
Right. All right.
I'm excited to be here, though.
Definitely glad you said yes to coming on here. So thank you. So today we are going to be talking a bit about Trace's channel, talking about um, his videos, what he likes to do. And to get started, I want to know what got you into YouTube.
Yeah, man. So for a while, I've talked about this a little bit in my older videos, but I've never made like a set video talking about it. But I always have had an interest in movies, and in high school, me and my friend Coleman, we would make videos and put on his channel, little sketches and stuff. And I was always watching other people talk about movies and review movies, and I never had that outlet with my friends to be able to discuss movies because none of them have ever been into movies like I have, so I never had that outlet. So I really wanted to be able to express my thoughts on some of my favorite movies and stuff like that. And then I was always afraid of what people would think because when you're putting yourself on the internet, that's a big deal.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
you never know how people are going to truly react to it, especially strangers and even people that you know in real life. So for a while, even after high school, I was afraid to put myself out there. And then last year, I don't know what clicked, but I kind of just came to the point and I was like, you know what? I really love talking about movies. I want to meet other people that love movies like me, and I don't really care anymore what people think. And it's been like 98% positive, I would say, out of 100. It's been great. I love it.
Oh, that's great to hear. Speaking of, what you're doing on YouTube, talking about films, what could you say really got you into, loving film and critiquing it?
So, growing up, I was always, let's talk about loving film first. So, growing up,
Hmm.
I mean, my family would always do movie nights. So that's something that's memories that can never be taken away from me. Um, those are just family memories that I've always had. Being able to watch rated R movies at a young age and getting away with that stuff. And it was always great to be able to look back at certain movies, good and bad, and say, you know what, that movie sucked, but I had a really fun night. I remember who I was with. I remember what happened before and after and stuff like that, And my dad, for a long time, he was always my movie buddy. So we would every week go to see whatever big movie was coming out, and that was like our thing. As I got older, I had new movie buddies. Some of them were girls, and some of them were my best friends. So me and my dad are no longer movie buddies anymore. He doesn't even like going to the theater, but no one can take away those memories from me of seeing those movies. So that's why I love the movies. And as far as who helped inspire me to go forward with talking about movies, it's the general answer of what most people would say is the bigger YouTubers, Sean Chandler, Jeremy Johns, FlickPick, John
Hmm.
Campia, stuff like that. But Another person that really inspired me was my friend Coleman, who I just mentioned. You know, we made videos together, him and I, and I had a blast making videos with him. And I'm gonna go visit him in He lives in Los Angeles off Hollywood Boulevard. I'm gonna go visit him early next year. So hopefully we can make some more videos together like we used to. But I always had a blast being able to be creative with him and just have fun.
Oh, okay. Yeah, for sure. Would you say the community also, like other people on YouTube, that are pretty much in the same, community would help
Yeah,
to,
so
yeah.
one of my new favorite things is the community of YouTube that has built around. You know, when I first started, I was not very invested in the community. You know, I was still trying to figure things out. And you also have to figure out who is actually interested in you and who is interested in using you. There's a two different things. So you know, with everything being on the internet, people sometimes aren't always how they present themselves. So being able to figure out, okay, this person actually is being genuine. They actually do care about me. So I gotta care about them too. So that community, I can reach out almost any time of the night and day and talk to somebody about movies. I got people,
Mhm.
I live in Florida. I got people in California and on the west coast of the United States. I can hit up whenever I want to talk about movies. I got people in Europe that I can talk about movies with. It it's insane. It's
Mhm.
it's honestly awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Yeah, the internet has really connected us with all kinds of people of all different walks of life. So that's something
Hmm.
that I really cherish. And then, like you said, with people are genuine, or if they're trying to, just use you or things of that nature. Luckily, I haven't really came across anything like that, but I think the community is a big part as well of what helps me keep productive
Yeah,
as well.
and it helps me be productive also. Yes. But I really haven't there's only been one instance where I came across someone who I really just was not liking the vibes they were giving off, so I kinda had to distance myself, but other than that, everything else has been awesome, you know? I truly have made so many new friends this year, and yes, it's people that I c that or don't live in the same town and I can't go and do something with that night, but I get to do stuff like this and talk to people in different states. And, you know, you're in Arizona. I would have never thought a year ago when I first made my first video that in 1 year I would have so many more friends in my that like what I like with movies.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly. Um, I know you kind of touched on it, but well, what would you say is your biggest YouTube influence?
Um, I mean, I really want to say Coleman, but we made the videos together, yes, when we were younger. And then he went off I don't know if you know what SCAD is in Georgia, do you know what that is? It's like a
No.
film school. Okay, well, it's like a film school, and over, I guess, on the East Coast, I guess it's kind of a big deal. I mean, he made it seem like it was, like, the biggest deal ever, but good for him. And then when he went to SCAD, he wasn't really making YouTube videos anymore, so part of me wants to say that it isn't Coleman, but I've always really liked I know that some people don't like him, and he can be kinda nuts sometimes, but I've always really liked John Campea, and I know that sometimes the vibe he gives off doesn't resonate with everyone, but his deeper message I'm able to see through, and a lot of times he will say, "Listen, you know, even if no one watches it, if you love talking about movies and if you want to be creative, make a YouTube channel, make your own, you know, put your voice out there and just make sure that you're a friendly person in the community, you know, don't be toxic." And that really sat with me. So once I got over the fact that I don't really care what people think, especially like the people that I see all the time in real life, I was able to go through that.
Mhm.
And now funny enough, the people I was worried about that would judge me are the people that hit me up and say, "Is this movie good? Have you seen this movie?" So they're watching my videos and they're listening to my opinion. So now I'm kicking myself and I'm like, "Man, I was worried that this person would judge me and now they're asking my opinion. I should have been doing this years ago."
Yeah, for sure. I'm one of the people that kind of don't really like John Campia, but I respect him
And I get it.
for putting it out in the forefront. There's some people that hide things. A lot of with YouTube, you don't really know the person. You
Exactly.
just see what they put out, and with John Campia, you get the feeling that he puts everything out. So
Yeah, good and bad.
yeah, I respect that. There, like I said before, there's everybody puts out what they
Even
want to put out.
even when he goes on his little rants, even someone who likes him, it makes me roll my eyes sometimes.
Uh,
But but you know what? Even if you don't like John Campia, you got to commend him for his production quality because it really does feel like a real show. Like he tries
yeah,
his best to make sure the audio, the lighting, the equipment is all top notch as much as he can make it. So you
yeah.
got to commend him on that.
He made his videos or his streams like look better than his time at Collider. Like that's
Yes, and he's doing it in a
pretty crazy.
garage.
Yeah,
So even if you don't like his opinions, you gotta respect him on his production quality because he really does try hard to make you feel like you're watching a legit show. So yeah,
yeah. I just don't like how smug he can be. Like I don't know if
and
you saw this
and I get
recently.
it. I
Yeah,
get it.
recently he put out uh a thumbnail that showed Kingpin that he was, in the last episode of was it Hawkeye?
Yeah.
And a lot of people got pissed about that. A lot of people aren't happy with him with the Spider-Man
Uh,
thing too, so I don't
I
know.
was unhappy with him about the Spider-Man thing too. Yeah,
Yeah,
but I still came back and watched the show.
yeah.
Um, but funny enough, even though I like John Campia and he helped inspire me to make my videos. Um, you know who I feel like, I mean, I don't know the guy, but you know who I feel like I resonate with the most is I feel like John Flickinger. I just feel like him and I have similar styles of talking. I'm
Mhm.
not sure. I don't know. I mean, maybe he's not like that in real life, but I watch his live streams and I feel like if him and I had a beer together, it'd be a good night. But I don't know. I don't know how he
Heard
is in real life.
him I watched all of them grow actually. Was John Flickinger, Chris Stuckman. I remember back
Jeremy, yeah.
yeah, I was watching yeah, Jeremy back in 2008 when he did the Transformers video. So it's pretty crazy to see how much all of them have grown. It's pretty insane. But yeah, John Flickinger, I can kind of see that. You give off some John Flickinger vibes. All right.
Yeah,
Now,
just not the steroids and I mean he I don't know if he ever actually did that, but he
yeah,
was
he was
looking
yoked for a
big
bit.
for a minute.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm
He
not
was he was
I'm not intense like that.
I know he's really into Batman. I was like, damn, he could probably play Batman right now.
Or at least Bane.
Or Ben, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know if you looked over this, but what are some of your film favorites or that really, when you think back for your love of movies, what are films that really come to mind?
Okay, so do you want just like regular films or horror
Yeah,
films?
just
What do you
regular
want to do?
films. Yeah.
Just regular films. Okay. So I'm not gonna stay on the subject of Evil Dead too long. Everyone already knows I love Evil Dead. So let's just move past that. So Evil Dead, move past it. Um, Definitely, I'm gonna feel like a jerk, but like it's a lot of big movies. Like I'm not an indie guy. Like I know that some people are really into like Oscar stuff and the smaller movies need more love, and I get that, but that's just not me. I'm sorry. But so a lot of my movies are gonna be like big franchise movies, but it's come on, it's classic stuff like Back to the Future, it's gonna be stuff like The Shining. I really love The Shining. stuff like that. And then like Jaws. It, you know what? I'll give you one that is a little, for me, it's a little overhyped, but I get it. Is The Godfather? I'm gonna
Oh, The
throw that
Godfather.
out there. But yeah, it's
I've
really
never
just.
watched any of the Godfathers.
I think that maybe because everyone was telling me how great it was, maybe I was in the mindset of, well, maybe it's not that great. But back to your question. Yeah, Forrest Gump. I've talked about Forrest Gump a bunch of times on
Mhm.
my channel. That was one that I would rewatch multiple times a day. I still love that movie, but I don't rewatch it multiple times a day still. I'll probably watch it once a year. But there was a 6-month period where I was watching it twice a day. So, like, Forrest Gump, Jaws, Back to the Future, Evil Dead, Shining, stuff like that.
It seems
I'm
like
really,
Spielberg is a pretty
dude, he's the
prominent.
GOAT.
Yeah.
He's the best. He's done every genre, it feels like, and he knocks it out of
Yeah.
the park in every genre. Kids' films. I consider Jaws a horror film. So, horror, political movies, action movies, adventure movies. He can do all of it. Animated movies,
Now
musicals.
musical. Yeah, now musical. Yeah.
So he's the GOAT. And I get that people love Kubrick and people love Hitchcock and Christopher Nolan. And while they're great, they don't have as good of a resume, I should say, because when you watch a Quentin Tarantino movie, you can tell off the bat it's a Quentin Tarantino movie. It's a good movie,
Mhm.
but you can tell it's from Quentin Tarantino because they kind of have like their own little niche, you know?
Mhm.
What about
Yeah.
you? What are some of your favorite movies?
Oh, well, sticking with Quentin Tarantino, he's actually one of the directors that I feel is a bit overrated. That might be a hot take, but I generally like his films, but a lot of them they feel like they drag. Like I don't know, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I felt like that film just
That one did
really dragged
drag.
for me. And a lot of people really love that movie, but I felt like it dragged for me.
I
Um,
love certain parts of that movie, but not the
yeah,
movie
yeah,
as a whole.
yeah. Scenes, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, for sure. Um, Although I do really like Death Proof. Have you ever seen Death Proof?
One time,
One
many
time.
years ago. So,
Of course, it has that. Oh, someone's car alarm's going off, but it does have a lot of that Quentin Tarantino dialogue. But
hmm
I think it's one of my favorite Kurt Russell performances. I think he's very menacing in that movie.
yeah. So what other movies are like your favorites that you just will watch at least once a year?
Well, in general, not including horror, I've always loved Jurassic Park. Like
Okay.
I absolutely love that movie. I remember watching it as a kid. That's a movie, like you said, watch it twice a day, that type of thing. That's a movie that I really point to that really got me into film. In regards to getting me into horror, was Scream. Scream, Wes Craven really got me into horror. Um, but yeah, those are my mains that I can really point to that really brought up the love of film in me.
What about now specifically horror films? Now you mentioned
Spec-
Scream, so
yeah,
okay, so we can go ahead and merge that over there, but what else?
Scream. I had gone into Halloween. I watched Child's Play when I was young. For some reason, Hellraiser always freaked me out. Like I remember going through the video store and seeing the cover of Hellraiser. For some reason, it just always freaked me out. And I watched that movie like what almost 10 years ago, and I was like, wow, this this isn't that bad. But yeah, uh, a movie that I can point to that when I was in my teenage years was Cloverfield. I remember the
Really?
the marketing for that movie. Yeah, the marketing for that movie. It was kind of like an ARG, or is that what they call ARG? I don't know. It's like those role playing games that you do on the internet. They always do it for like movies or uh, YouTube. There's some videos that they make it like an ARG. It's a
Mm.
game, but kind of like the rollout for Blair Witch. That's what they did with Cloverfield. And I remember being a teenager at that time. Um, that was a lot of fun. Um, yeah, man. Friday the 13th. I've always been a huge fan of slasher films. That's have always been.
So for
They've always
Friday
been
the
my favorite.
13th, there's like fucking 10 films in that franchise. Are you talking about the original, or are you talking about the remake, or are you talking about one of the sequels?
I'm talking
Or
about
just
the
like
entire series.
the
The
entire series? Oh,
entire
wow. Okay.
series. Yeah,
The entire series.
there's some that aren't great, but
It's like when Jason punches that guy's head off in Manhattan, that's just like you just love that.
yeah, I just love it. I like the cheesiness, the '80s vibe, all of it. But
There seems
yeah,
to always be a camp of Friday the 13th versus Nightmare on Elm Street.
I guess so. Um, yeah, with Jason versus Freddy, that's probably why.
Yeah.
There's always been that
I actually like that movie.
rivalry
I, I know that a lot of people hate on that. I actually kind of enjoy that. I can see past the cheesiness.
of Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the got your nose, rips off her nose.
Yeah.
Yeah, things like that, man. What's his name? Why am I blanking on his name? Robert England. That
Mhm.
guy is a treasure, man. If only they would have had Kane Hodder to play Jason, that movie would have been peak. I don't know if you're into the
I don't
actors.
I mean,
Did the sound go out? Hello? Uh-oh, we might be having technical difficulties. Let's see.
seems like it.
Oh, okay, I can hear you now.
Okay, can you see me though?
Yeah, I can see you. Yeah.
Okay, I can't see you, but it's all right. So my whole thing is like, okay, fine. The actor you can swap out, but that's not going to change the script, you know? Like the script is the script. So like I don't think an actor really would have made that much of a difference, especially one that doesn't have any speaking roles.
That's true, but the way Kane Hodder plays Jason, there's definitely a difference. The new actor that they got for that film played him more like a Frankenstein
Mm,
type of feel, just more of a robotic type of movement. Where Kane Hodder, he kind of had like a shark that smelled blood type of feel,
gotcha.
more ferocious. Like you could tell a difference with, I don't know if you saw the new Halloween Kills. Did you see Halloween
Mm.
Kills?
Okay, if we talk about the worst of the year later, that's going to be in there.
Well, just kind of think of how Michael Myers was played there. Uh, that's pretty much how Kane Hodder played Jason for a couple of films.
Okay,
A lot more ferocious, a lot more. Um, he's on a mission.
gotcha, gotcha. So a couple of my favorite horror movies, because I remember you asked me this before we jumped on. You texted it to me, and I thought about it. And past The Evil Dead, a couple horror movies that I really love is American Werewolf in London. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yep.
Obviously The Shining, because I put that in like my favorite films ever. So The Shining is going to be in there. The Conjuring, I actually really enjoy that one, the first Conjuring. The second one is good too, but the first one is superior, I believe. Poltergeist is the first movie that ever truly scared the crap out of me. I was probably too young to watch it, that's why. But that one will forever be one of the scariest movies to me ever. But speaking of the scariest movies, I thought about it and I have an answer, but what do you think is a movie that still frightens you to this day?
A movie that's I would say probably Hereditary.
Really?
Yeah, that movie really freaked me out when I first
Hmm.
watched it. Um, and I've only rewatched it once since.
Wow. Okay.
Um, like an older film, The Omen,
The remake or the original?
original, The
Oh,
Omen.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I haven't seen the original in forever. I remember the remake. I might need to maybe rewatch the original again. But you know, one for me that is still holds up, super scary, I believe, is the freaking Exorcist, man. That movie is still frightening, and they're going to be remaking it. I don't know if you've heard. There's going to
yeah,
be, I guess it's going to be a freaking trilogy. They're already planning a trilogy, which,
yeah.
right? I think that's a mistake. I think that they should just go one by one because The Exorcist is kind of a franchise that is it's older, and I don't know if a younger audience is going to be into that. If 14 and 15-year-olds are going to be into that, but that's neither here nor there.
Mm. And they
Do you
also
still?
said that it's going to be a theatrical release for the first one, and then the next two will be straight to streaming on Peacock. What do you think about that?
That's going to confuse people, man.
Yeah,
Why are you splitting it up like that?
it's the streaming wars, man.
I guess, yeah, I
It's the
guess. What do
streaming
you
wars.
think about The Exorcist? Do you think that it's still like pretty frightening, or what do you think?
Yeah, The Exorcist still holds up. I don't know if it's as frightening as whenever I first watched it, but it still really holds up. The acting, production on that film is great. Like the things that they did to get that movie done, like lowering the temperature of the set to however many degrees so they could get the breath, like all the things that they did, like all the stories about the production just adds to the horror of that movie. I know what's her name, who played Reagan, Linda
What?
Blair. She
Oh, okay.
has,
Linda Blair,
yeah,
you got it.
Linda Blair. She still has injuries since uh, from that movie. She still suffers from the injuries that she had from that movie because you know how they had her like flipping around on the bed. They had a
Hmm.
rig that would flip her around. I guess it really messed up her back. So
Have you seen? Speaking of The Exorcist, have you seen the TV show from Fox?
no, I haven't seen the show. Have you?
Yes. Now, I'm not a big Exorcist fan, even though it is really scary. I give them that. I'm not the biggest Exorcist fan, but that TV show is really good. So much so that I I bought it on the Google Play Store because I was thinking back and I really wanted to rewatch it. And I mean, I wouldn't go spending $25 on the season pass of it, but I picked it up for $10 each season and I would definitely give it a watch. I think that it's going to be right up your alley. It's really good for a Fox TV show
Hmm.
about horror. It's good. I mean, they can only do so much because it's on a network TV show, but I was kind of a little bit let down that it didn't get a season three. And
Yeah.
I think his name's John Cho. He plays Harold in Harold and Kumar series, and he's in Star
Oh
Trek, and
yeah.
he was in the Cowboy Bebop
Yeah. Yeah.
series from Netflix. He's in the second season, and he does a really good job. And then I don't know her name, but she plays teenage Negasonic Warhead in Deadpool. She was in the second season, and she did a really good job too.
Okay, gotta check it out.
Yeah, I
Um,
think you should.
there's a lot of things that you could get away with on network television. Did you ever watch
To an
Hannibal?
extent, yeah. No, I love Silence of the Lambs, but I I mean, I've seen Red Dragon once when I
Mhm.
was younger, but I don't remember it. And then I know there was like two sequels, and Red Dragon was one of them, but I can't remember the other one. But no, back to your question. No, I haven't seen Hannibal TV series. and that
It's
has
so good. Mads
Mads
Mikkelsen,
Mikkelsen. I haven't seen it.
so good, man. Yeah, the stuff that they were able to that show was on NBC. The stuff that they were able to get away with. If you ever watch it, you'll be in awe.
So you tell me, does it pick up after Silence of the Lambs, or is it an origin story?
It's pretty much an origin story, the relationship between Will Graham, who's the detective, and Hannibal. So it focuses on that storyline, and
You you know what came
it's
out
very well
earlier
done.
this year, and I never watched it, but it looked really good, but I kind of forgot about it up until now when we started talking about Hannibal. Is I think it was another Fox show because I remember watching the Super Bowl and they had a whole bunch of TV spots for a TV show. And what was the girl's name in Silence of the Lambs, the detective? Clarice?
Yeah, Clarice.
That was it. Yeah. I think the show was just called Clarice,
Oh,
and
okay. Yeah,
it was supposed to take place right after Silence of the Lambs, I think.
yeah, I think so too. I think that's a CBS
Maybe it was
all
CBS,
access
yes.
show or something like that on their streaming service.
That
I
might be
think
one I
so.
need to go back and sign up and watch because I did have interest in it.
Yeah, it does look interesting. It kind of has from the trailer that I saw, kind of like the vibes of the Hannibal TV show. So
Okay.
I guess we'll
So
see.
I wonder if Hannibal's on Peacock. Maybe I can
It's on
maybe I can check it out.
Hulu right now.
It's on Hulu. Okay, so maybe I might have
Hmm.
to check that out.
Yeah, man. This is a perfect time because a lot of the setting of that show is like during the winter time. So
Here we go.
it'll get you into the winter vibes out there in Florida.
It's kind of hard to, yeah, because like I don't know how cold it is where you're at, but right now it's like 85 degrees. So it's kind of hard to get into the Christmas spirit in Florida, especially South Florida, because I'm near like West Palm Beach and Miami. So, I step outside and I start sweating.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's how it is over here too. Right now, I think it's like around 70 degrees. So
I would love 70 degrees, but even at night, it gets pretty cold where you're at night, right?
yeah, it gets chilly. Yes, it does.
All right, and for the next segment on everything horror, we're going to be giving you weather updates.
Right. Now, going back to your channel, um, I like some of the segments that you do on your show. Like you have your movie virginity list, and
Yeah, I need to get back on that. But yeah.
and one that I want to talk about that really caught my attention was your thoughts on Seven.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
God, that was a while ago. But yes, the movie Virginity thing, I really need to get back on that. Because it is a really good concept of watching popular movies that I've never seen before. Because there's a lot of them. So I need to get back on that. I really do. And that's really great to hear from you that you enjoy that because I was kind of doubting it, but I do need to get back on that. But what about Seven are you interested in?
So I really like Seven. Seven is one of my favorites, and I know you kind of had mixed feelings about it.
See, I really don't remember what I said because I think that that video is at least 8 or 9 months old.
Oh, okay.
But looking back on what I remember about Seven, I remember liking it, and I remember I liked it enough that I went and I bought the DVD for it was like $5, and I was like, "Yeah, I just watched it." So I did pick it up. I own it now, and I don't remember not liking it. So I believe that I enjoyed it. It's not going to be something that I need to rewatch every year,
Hmm.
but I remember it being a pretty good movie. And there was a movie that just came out this year that tried to have a Seven vibe, and it had Denzel Washington and Rami Malek and Jared Leto. Did you see it? It was called um, The
Oh,
Little
I know what you're talking
Things.
about. Yeah,
The Little
I didn't see
Things.
that one.
So that one tried to be like Seven, but it was like I was gonna give a reference from Florida, but you wouldn't know it. So it was going to be like the Winn-Dixie version of it. Because where I live, you got Publix, which is like the superior marketplace that everyone goes to shop. And then you got Winn-Dixie. So 7 is Publix, and then the Little Things was trying to be like Publix, but it was really
Mm.
Winn-Dixie.
It was discount 7.
Yeah, yeah.
I
But
got you.
it wasn't dumpster fire. It's on HBO Max. I don't know if you have that, but maybe put it on in the background when you're editing a video.
I might check it out.
Yeah.
Uh, and then, um, oh yeah, and I wanted to talk to you about your latest video, which one of your latest videos, which was the Tiger King review.
Dude.
That review really blew up, and I noticed that you were getting a lot of traffic with comments, and I could see with your channel getting comments like what were on that video. I want to know if that affected you at all. How did that feel getting that much traffic on that video?
All right. So my channel has right now 197 subscribers. So I'm almost at the 200 mark, but I'm not quite there yet. When Tiger King came out, I was at, I think, around the 160 mark. And that was really my first taste of public opinion and not from just my friends.
Mhm.
And it was really eye-opening because up until that point, every comment I had was really nice and respectful and, keep up the great work, Trace, and all that good stuff that you like to see in the comment section. And I woke up, and I liked the first season of Tiger King. It was interesting, it captivated all of us. So when number 2 came out, I thought, you know what? I don't think people in my circle are going to really be talking about Tiger King. Maybe I should, maybe I should do a video. I woke up at 4 in the morning and I binge watched the entire series of Tiger King. I had work at 11. So I woke up at 4 in the morning. I watched all the episodes. I shot a really quick review of like my first initial thoughts. I had bullet points and stuff. And then I was editing while I was working and I got it out in the late afternoon and I made the decision to post it in groups that supported Joe Exotic because I wanted more traffic. And when I did that, I said, I don't care what they think about my video because they supported Joe Exotic and I kind of bashed on him a little bit in like the whole series. And at first I was like, I don't give a shit what they think about my video. So I posted it in there. And then that's my best performing video. It's at 1,700 views. It's a little over that, but um, the comments I got from the Joe Exotic supporters were like fucking insane, dude. And there was a couple comments that I they would comment and then I took off because it's one thing. I don't care if you say my video sucks. I've been doing YouTube for a year. Like, fuck off. Cut me some slack. I'm still learning. And but it's a different thing when you start like attacking me personally. Like
Yeah, yeah.
you get what I'm saying? Like there's a difference between saying your video sucks and saying you suck. Like those are two different things. So there's a couple videos or a couple comments that I remember I had to take down really quick because they were just like super hurtful. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, damn, like, fuck, this person really took the time to make a paragraph talking about me. Like, I'm a nobody. And that was like a refresher that, like, not everyone in this community is going to be super nice to you, Trace. But when you're doing YouTube, it was a lesson because I got to expect that, you know? You got to expect the unexpected, I think is what the phrase is called.
Mhm.
So, yeah, and then that kind of pushed me to restructure and rethink about my upcoming videos because no one else was talking about Tiger King. And if I hadn't have made that video, I wouldn't have gained, I think I got like 25 subscribers just from that one video, something like that. It was crazy, along with the bad comments. But if I make a video every week talking about the biggest movie that comes out, my friends are going to support me, yes. but I'm gonna get lost in the shuffle with that general audience that doesn't know me and they're looking for a King Richard review. So I thought about it and I was like, maybe I should focus on these different types of videos that I can still have fun with, but maybe not a lot of people in my sphere is gonna do that same video, you know? Sorry, I got the hiccups. Because you gotta be a little different to stand out, you know?
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
when a big movie comes out that I really like, yes, I'll talk about it, and I'm not gonna expect a whole bunch of views. So, but I'm gonna try and focus on, like, some smaller stuff. So, like, Reno 911 is coming out with a new special. I made a video talking about the series that's gonna be coming out right before the new special comes out, and then I'm gonna talk about the new special. But if you've also been looking at my channel, you saw that my last 2 South Park reviews for their specials did really well. For someone that has less than 200 subscribers, those videos did really well because not a lot of people was talking about it, and I tried my absolute best each video to work with the equipment that I have and to make the best video possible that I can. So yeah, I went off
Yes.
on a little rant. Sorry about that,
No
but
worries. But yeah, sometimes that's all you can do. Just work with whatever you got.
yeah, and there's a difference between working with what you got and then half-assing it. There's a difference.
Yeah, yeah,
You can
for
tell
sure.
when someone doesn't try, and you can also tell when someone does try, but they're still working on it. And that's me. I do try my absolute best, but I'm still working on it, you know? This is just a hobby, so I don't want to invest a whole lot of money into a hobby. I can invest here and there, but I can't drop a whole paycheck on new equipment yet, you know? Because
Yes,
it's still in the hobby phase, and I'm okay with that. That's what it is. I have fun with it. But I'm never going to put out a video that I don't at least try, because then that's not fun for someone else to watch.
for sure. All right. I'm going to take away the heat from you for right now. Let's go ahead and get into some horror news. So there are a couple of things that did happen. Let's get that going.
Hearsay, we have horrifying news.
All right. So one of the first things that I want to talk about here is the Black Phone, which is starring Ethan Hawke, is getting pushed back all the way to June. What do you think of that?
Wow. Okay. So Black Phone actually looked kind of interesting to me, and we really haven't seen Ethan Hawke as a villain before, so this was double interesting. One, the concept, one, Ethan Hawke as a villain. And it
Mhm.
has to do with, like, like childhood abductions and then the kid trying to escape, and Ethan Hawke is just this weird character, and the kid is getting phone calls from, I guess, past victims, I'm guessing. I
Yeah.
mean, that's what the trailer makes it out to seem like, is past victims or dead kids are trying to help him so that he doesn't also end up dead. So, concept seems pretty original. I like it. And it kinda sucks that it's gonna pushed until June. So, when was it supposed to come out? Like, early in 2022?
Yeah. So it was supposed to be February. Like
Um,
I
wh
think the first or second week of February.
do you know why it's getting pushed? I mean, it's a smaller movie, it doesn't have a big budget,
I'm
and
not sure.
we're kinda we're kinda getting over the hump of people being okay going into theaters. Look at freaking Spider-Man. The
Oh
movie
yeah, they had
almost
a
made
big weekend.
so, like,
Huge.
why would a studio with a small movie see the humongous weekend that Spider-Man just did and then not have faith? Maybe, you know what? Is it possible that maybe they're gonna put it on streaming also and do a day and date release?
I don't think so. I think it's
You don't
going to
think they're
be
considering that?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a theatrical release. If it would have been a day and day release, I think they would have kept the February date. But I don't know, man. It really did let me down. Did you ever read the short story? Okay, I don't want to say anything about it just in case if they actually are faithful to it. It's really good. It's by Joe Hill. He's the son of Stephen King.
Oh wow,
Um,
okay. I didn't know that.
yeah, he has a book called 13th Century Ghosts, Goats, Ghosts, and that's a short story in there. It's really
Okay, so
interesting.
why do you personally believe it got pushed? Just take a guess.
I hope it's not because the movie's not good.
I mean, that could be a possibility.
But maybe I don't know what else is being released. In February. I don't know if it had the same release date as another big film, but maybe they feel more comfortable with it being a summer release. Maybe it is good. Maybe it is good, and they want to put it out for the summer because they think it'll
So
make
maybe they're
more
like,
money there.
this movie's too good to put out in February. We'll make more money in the summer.
Yeah, I'm hoping that's what it is.
Do you know if it's rated R or not? Because if it's not rated R, they could push it to the summer because kids like summer is a big area for kids to go to the movies because it's summer break. What are we going to do? Oh, send Jimmy to the movie. So is it PG-13? Do you know?
I'm looking it up right now. Let me see. Yeah, it's gonna be rated R. Yeah.
Rated R. Okay, so that can't be it. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see.
I hope it's because it's good and they think it'll make more money in June.
Hey, me and you are going to go see it in June to support it. So there's at least $12 to the studio.
Right. But yeah, it's going to be really neat. Yeah, like you said, we never seen Ethan Hawke as a villain. It's going to be very interesting to see, um, you know, what his character is going to be like in that movie.
Am
Seems
I
very
wrong?
creepy.
Am I wrong, or did Scott Derrickson direct this, or did he produce it?
Scott Derrickson is directing it. Yes.
Okay, I like him. He's a good director. I like
Oh
him.
yes.
I have faith in the movie. Sinister was really good. Not the second one. Second one I don't want to talk about, but the first one was really good.
I was really hoping they were going to stick with him with the Doctor Strange sequel, since they said that was going to be more of a horror type of feeling. What they say, it was going to be Marvel's first horror film.
Yeah, but you know what? Um, Sam Raimi, man, he's awesome, and he directed the Spider-Man trilogy. He directed the Evil Dead trilogy,
True, true.
and he has not done any big movie studio directing since Oz Great and Powerful, which was back in 2013, I believe. So
Oh, I
I
forgot
am
that was him.
happy, bro. I am happy to have him back. And you
That's true.
know damn well there's going to be a Bruce Campbell cameo.
Oh yeah,
There
yeah,
better be. There better
yeah. There
be.
better be. All right. It looks like we have Nick up in here from the Discuss. What's up, guys? What's up? How are you doing?
Hey,
How's it
what up,
going, Nick?
man? Yeah.
All right. What's your thoughts on the black phone being pushed back? Let me know in the comments. All right. The next topic we're going to get into is something that you're very interested in with the Evil Dead. They're going to have a video game that'll be coming out soon, and they just
Yep.
released some gameplay on it. I think it was during the Video Game Awards, or was it a trailer, something of that nature. But it seems really interesting. It looks like it has that I don't know if you ever played Left 4 Dead. Are you a video game guy? You like video games?
Not so much anymore. You know what video games I do like though is like the open world video games, like Grand Theft Auto, Spider-Man. What's the Western one with
Western? Oh, Red Dead Redemption.
yeah, stuff like that where it's like open world. Those are the types of video games that I really enjoy. Here and there, I'll play Call of Duty every now and then, but I really, honestly, I really don't have that time. I really don't have the time for video games anymore like I used to. But when Evil Dead comes out, I'm pre-ordering it, I'm buying it, and I'm gonna play that thing and hopefully finish it as soon as I can because I've seen the gameplay of it and they're including characters from all the movies, which is
Yeah.
awesome.
Yep.
And it looks like while it's not going to be an open world in the sense of Grand Theft Auto, it does look like Left 4 Dead, where you can run around and pick up different um, weapons to use. And I have played Left 4 Dead. That's actually a really good game, underrated.
Yeah,
I have that game for my Xbox 360, and
me
it
too.
still
Yeah.
works. So maybe I should, fire that thing up because that's a really good video game. I remember. So, but bro, no, I'm so excited. And actually, Evil Dead got pushed back. It was supposed to have already came out, but they wanted to do some more updates on it. So you know how it
That
goes.
makes sense.
But
The same
I
thing
don't even
happened with Halo, and it came out a better game. So I say take as much time as you need.
I don't even know
It's
when
good.
this game's coming out anymore. Do you know?
I could look it up, but um,
Definitely this year is coming out, but I don't have a PS5 right now. I mean, a lot of people don't because whenever they do come, they're they'd sell out.
yeah,
So eventually I will get a PS5, but hey, you know what? Maybe within those 6 months, if I do get a PS5, then I'll just buy the PS5 version of the game. But if not, then I can get the PS4 version and then I can use it on the PS5.
true. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it says it's going to be February 2022. So it's very
Oh,
soon.
okay, that's coming up. That's coming up.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna have a PS5 by February.
Uh,
So
that's true.
I guess
Oh
I'm gonna
yeah,
buy the PS4 version.
exactly. Yeah. Luckily, I have an Xbox Series X, so I'll definitely play that whenever it does come out.
Yeah, man. I should probably go to GameStop pretty soon and see if they're already doing pre-orders.
Do it.
Because usually you get like character skins or something like that if you pre-order it in advance, right? I haven't pre-ordered a game in forever.
Yeah. Me neither. I haven't pre-ordered a game since Gears of War, the newest Gears of War.
The last game that I played was the Spider-Man game, and I was walking around Target and I did see that they put the Miles Morales Spider-Man for PS4, but I didn't pick it up. But that is on my list. I wouldn't mind having that. So I'll probably play that one because, who doesn't like Spider-Man? But I haven't pre-ordered a game since high school, and that was like almost 7 years ago.
Yeah.
I just I don't have time anymore like I used to for video games, especially with me doing YouTube. I'd rather make I have more fun making videos than I do playing video games by myself.
That's true. Yeah, same with me. I've always liked watching movies. I like passing time with movies. Looks like Nick
The
left
Discuss
another
says
comment.
I'll have to
Yeah,
look up stuff on the Evil Dead game. Yeah.
yeah, look
I
it up.
wonder,
It looks like a lot of fun. If you
hey,
like Left 4 Dead, it looks like it's going to be kind of the same vein.
put in the comments if you've seen the Evil Dead movies or not, because we were talking about that earlier, and that's my favorite franchise. So let me know if you've seen the movies.
Yeah, let us know, Nick. All right, and then the next topic for horror news is looks like the new Saw, the writers for the new Saw are saying that fans of John Kramer are really going to like this one. They should get excited for this one. So, were you ever into Saw? Did you like Spiral? Just recently came out.
All right, so the first the first Saw movie is good. The first Saw movie is a good movie. It's not one of my favorites, but it's a good movie, and that's okay. Everything else I could give two shits about. I don't care about the Saw franchise, honestly. It was just never one that gravitated towards me. But having
Yeah.
said that, Spiral, I went in with an open mind. Chris Rock was in it. It's been a while since we've had um, a movie in this franchise. I think Jigsaw was the last one, and that was in like 2017, 2018, I believe. So it's been a couple years for a break, and this was supposed to be something different. And it was something a little bit different. And I enjoyed it, man. Like, Chris Rock was awesome in that movie. It's not going to be my favorite of the year, but it doesn't need to be. It just needed to be a good, enjoyable movie, and that's what it was. It surprised me actually, so much so that I bought it. I liked it so much that I freaking bought it, and I hate the Saw franchise. So, I mean, hey, if they're doing another one and Chris Rock somehow can be involved, I'm in for it, man. I'm down.
Yeah, I bought the Steelbook book version from Best Buy. That's a really nice cover.
Do you see what he put in the chat? I've seen the
Let me
first
see.
Evil Dead, but not the other ones. Dude, you gotta watch the second one. The second one is the best one. Come on. I wonder when they're
Yeah,
going to get a
yeah,
trailer.
Dead by Dawn. Yeah.
The Northman. I don't know what that is. I've never heard of the
All right,
Northman.
the Northman.
But dude, watch Evil Dead 2. It's I mean, I love Evil Dead, the first one, but the second one's way superior. You got to watch the second one.
Yeah, so he says the next film after the Lighthouse and is set in the
I
13th
didn't see the
century
Lighthouse.
Iceland. Oh man, the Lighthouse is bonkers. You gotta check it out.
I actually own it, but I haven't seen it yet.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
dude,
You
I
know,
do that too. I have a lot of films that I own that I haven't opened up and watched.
I'm curious. Have you seen The Witch? I really love The Witch.
Oh yeah, the Vavitch. Yeah,
The the what?
the Vavitch.
The
Because the
Vavitch.
way the W is, it's not connected, so it looks like two V's. People call it the
Oh,
Vavitch.
oh. No, dude, I love that movie. And that's one of the reasons I really liked Fear Street Part 3 is because it kind of had those vibes. But
Yeah,
yeah, The Witch is good.
yeah. The Witch. That's a very eerie movie. I love the
Hmm.
setting.
Black
Um,
Phillip.
Robert Eggers, he's really good with making these films and period pieces. Um, and it was very ambitious doing the Lighthouse, having it all black and white. I think you should definitely check it out as soon as you can.
Yeah, and Batman and the Green Goblin are in that movie. So yeah,
Yeah, Willem Dafoe had 2 films come out this week. Isn't that crazy?
Nightmare Alley, right? He's in that.
Yep.
Yeah. Speaking
Nick
of that,
Nick said, "Oh, sorry." Nick said, "Yeah, I'll definitely watch Evil Dead 2. I've heard great things. It's a lot of fun, man. I think you'll
yeah,
have a
man,
lot of fun with that movie."
I got him on Instagram. So maybe I'll give him a couple weeks and I'll hit him up and see what he thought about the movie. See if he had a chance to watch it in a couple weeks. I'll
Right.
DM him. But
Right.
yes, Nightmare Alley. So I had not seen it, but why don't you give me a quick rundown on your thoughts on it and let me know if I should rush out to see it this week.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful looking movie. Bradley Cooper is great. Um, uh, it's really nice to look at for sure. As far as the story, it is pretty long. It does drag at some points, like towards the middle, but and I kind of called the ending to the movie like halfway through, but it didn't deter from my enjoyment of the movie. I thought it was really good. Guillermo del Toro, man, he's a national treasure. He's he's really good at directing. He knows how to get a good um, performance from his actors.
So other than it being just a tad too long, it is a good movie.
Yes, it's really good. I really liked it.
Okay. That seems to be like the general consider. I saw Nightmare Alley. It's gorgeous. Great love letter to 1940s noir.
The noir
So,
feel is out of this world.
so a movie being too long seems to be my general wrap up for 2021 in general. I feel like every movie review I do, I know I'm not, but I feel like at some point I'm saying the movie was too long. So then at what point do I say maybe it's just me and it's not the movie? So I don't know. But like Spider-Man, movie's 2 hours and 30 minutes. It's really 2 hours and 15 because of the credits. But the movie flies by. And I know you want to talk about Spider-Man later, which we can, but the movie flies by. But a movie like The Last Duel, which is roughly around the same runtime, I'm sitting there and I'm tapping my foot. I'm enjoying the movie, but I'm getting antsy. So I feel like directors really need to, like, people like Zack Snyder, dude. They need to have a little bit of a shorter leash with the runtime, because I really liked Army of the Dead, but that movie was too long also, even though I enjoyed it.
I didn't like Army of the Dead. And that was
I
the
a lot
movie
of
that I
people
felt
didn't.
was way too long.
Well, like
Uh,
even me, I
Way
liked
too
the
long.
movie. I liked the movie, and I'm still saying it was too long. So like that
Yeah.
should say something, shouldn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm trying to think of some other really long movies. Like James Bond, I didn't feel the runtime on that one. Even though that was a long movie, I was okay with that because the movie had a good pace.
Mhm.
Um, can you help me out? What are some other long movies that came out this year?
Um, let me see. Let me see.
I
What
don't know.
other big movies came out?
I don't know. I can't think of any long movies right now.
Yeah, but Nightmare Alley, I think you should check it out.
Okay, yeah. Definitely this week I'll have some time because I got some days off for Christmas. So I'm gonna be checking out The Kingsman, and
Oh
then
yeah, Kingsman.
Nightmare Alley, and I think Sing 2 is gonna come out this week. I like the first Sing, so I'll be checking that out too.
Sing. What's that?
It's like the animals, and they're singing. I mean, I don't really know how to describe it. They're like one of them's a gorilla. Matthew McConaughey plays a koala bear. It's Reese Witherspoon's
Oh,
in it. I
okay.
think she plays a pig. It's a kids movie. It's
Oh,
and
okay.
then
I
Illumination
got you.
movie. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I hadn't heard of that. And there's a second one?
Yeah, no, the first one actually kind of surprised me. So the second one doesn't look good from the trailers that I've seen, but I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt because I also thought the first one didn't look good and it surprised me. It's not good like, freaking Lion King, but
Yeah, yeah.
it's a cute kids movie. So, I'm gonna go in here. I'm gonna go into the second one with an open mind. I like kids movies. They can be good when they are good. Stuff like the Adams Family too. I wanted to gouge my eyes out. The kids next to me, who, I mean, I didn't know the kids next to me that had their parents, but they lost interest in the Adams Family too. Also, like I was looking over at them and they looked bored out of their mind.
Oh, looks like Nick made another comment. I think it's just society. Our content has continued to get shorter and more distilled, makes slower films less tolerable. Possibly,
Yeah,
yeah. I can
possibly.
see that. Yeah, TikTok. That's a big
Yeah,
that's evidence for that.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm actually
Um,
wondering if I should do anything on TikTok or not. I don't know.
I'll do it, man. I got followers like really quick. Like I
Oh yeah.
dedicated for some time, like during the summer, some time to TikTok, and I got followers pretty quick.
So a company called Rizzle that is not based like um they have buildings in the US like specifically Los Angeles because
Hmm.
that's the person that did my contract was they were in Los Angeles, but they're really big overseas, I guess, supposedly. And they do 1 minute videos. It's kind of like TikTok, but like not the same, not as good. And I don't know, man. It's hard to do a review in 1 minute. It really is. And I think TikTok, you got 3 minutes, right?
Yeah, you get capped out at 3 minutes if you have been with TikTok for a certain amount of time, and have a certain amount of followers. So me, I have 46,000, and
46,000 followers.
yeah, 46,000.
And how
So
many do you think transferred over to YouTube?
not very much.
I wonder
Not very
why.
much. The videos where I was trying to get people over to YouTube didn't really get many views. So the way
Mm,
TikTok works, it's very strange. They like there's just so much content on there. They don't show they don't really show it like recommended to your followers as much as say YouTube would, you know.
Okay.
So yeah. Oh, Nick, have you made anything on Rizzle? They've contacted me a bunch about making content on that platform.
Yeah, so the thing about Rizzle is they contact smaller YouTubers and, well, maybe not just YouTubers, but just smaller people in general to help build a following of Rizzle to get the word out because, they can spend a little bit of money on me and make me feel special, or they can spend a lot of money on one person. And so I think what their strategy is to spend a little bit of money on smaller people here and there. And listen, all I'll say is my contract with them is up in December, and unless they at least double what they're paying me right now, I'm not going to do it because I want to focus on YouTube because the Rizzle videos is really hard doing a review that you can put yourself behind and say that you're proud of it when you only have 1 minute. So
Yeah.
have you made anything on Rizzle? Yes, I've made money on Rizzle. I have a contract with them. They pay me every month. So yes, I make money on Rizzle. I'm a sellout, yes. But
You're not a sellout.
unless they pay me, unless we renegotiate how much they're paying me, I don't think I can go forward with Rizzle.
Yeah.
So hopefully that helps.
And then with TikTok, like their CPMs aren't really that great. Like I had a TikTok that hit 1.2 million views, and I only got like $40. So it's like it's very scarce. They because there's so many content creators on there, and it's pretty easy
Yeah.
to get a following. So it
Yeah, and
kind of like balances out.
and I've got a big following on Rizzle, but I think a lot of it is just not people from the United States, which is fine. I mean, YouTube is a global platform also, so like that's fine, that's cool. But I didn't see a lot of transfer from Rizzle to YouTube. One, because in my contract I'm not allowed to promote my YouTube channel. So maybe that's part
wow.
of it. Well, I get it. If I was paying someone to promote my content and then they turned around and tried to promote their own, I would probably step in and say something. So I totally get that. That's fine. But I didn't see a lot of transfer over because if I'm watching someone from an app that I really enjoy, I would probably try and look up their username other places to see where else I can enjoy their content.
True. All right, we got over to Rizzle.
Yeah, we did a whole discussion on that.
All right, so let's go ahead and get into our main topics for the day. All right, so let's go over our general thoughts on Spider-Man before we get into spoilers. So let's start off with you. Go ahead and tell me what you thought of Spider-Man No Way Home, Trace.
Spoilers or no spoilers?
No spoilers yet.
Okay, no spoilers. So I got to be careful because I did 2 hours of talking about spoilers earlier on my podcast. So I got to switch my mental gear. I got to be careful. Okay, so no spoilers. General thought: Tom Holland. This solidifies it. He's my favorite Spider-Man. I love what they've done with this character in the MCU. You've heard this a million times. It's very emotional. Yes, it is. It lives up to the hype. And something I was very nervous of is how many villains they marketed. That's not a spoiler. You know that there's like 5 or 4 villains from the trailers and posters. You know this. That's not a spoiler. And I was really worried that there was too many going on. And there wasn't. I mean, I think that John Watts is a really good director and he was able to balance everybody. And something that worked for this movie that didn't work for 2007 Spider-Man 3 is that we already know these characters. Yes, little Bobby, who's 12, doesn't know Doc Ock, maybe, but who cares about Bobby, who's 12? We're the ones that the target audience is for. we know who these characters are, so they don't need to go into an origin story of who the Sandman is. We don't need an origin story of the Lizard. We already know it. We've been through it. So that benefited this movie that did not benefit 2007.
Yeah, exactly. And I agree with you in regards to them doing just enough, to get a picture of what these villains were in their past. Like you said, don't have to get into an origin story. Uh, Overall, my thoughts, I really loved this film. Definitely one of my favorite Spider-Man films, and out of all the other Spider-Mans. Tom Holland was great, man. I don't know why, man. Whenever he like starts tearing up, I want to tear up too. There's something about it,
Yeah.
and I think he's a great actor. Like his
Yeah.
performance when he's in the rain, you could tell he's in so much pain. He just knows how to convey that. Zendaya was great as well. I really liked her in the movie. I like the relationship. In the
Jacob
past film,
Barthelone was good too. He
yeah,
plays Ned.
in the past films, I didn't know how I really felt about the relationship. It just kind of felt like it was, just hacked together for the film. But in this movie, I think it really played out well. I liked seeing Willem Dafoe, man. He's just so great in this movie. He's amazing. So menacing, man. He's so freaky looking. Like super freaky looking. And um as well as Jamie Foxx. I think he was really good in here. You could really see you know he has some doubt, but then he wants the power. And I think they did very well with what they had for sure. Looks like we got a comment here. Nick was heading out.
Yeah.
Haven't seen it. I'm out. See you guys. All right. Well, thanks for stopping by, Nick. I appreciate it. But yeah, overall, man, I really enjoyed this movie. I do have some nitpicks, but that's like me being greedy. But yeah, tons of surprises, tons of action. That I think John Watts, is that his name?
It is. Yep.
John Watts. I think he's pretty good with directing action, with his
He's gonna
background.
do Fantastic Four also.
Yeah, with his background with he started out with Clown. Did you ever watch that movie?
Is that the horror movie?
Yep. Well, when he first started out, he just made this little trailer, and it was like a little fan trailer thing that he made, and it got it Eli Roth got a hold of it, and that's how they actually backed up the concept for his little trailer that he made and made into an actual movie, which was Clown. So to see where he came from and to see what he's doing now, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about spoilers, or do you want to move into like best and worst of 2021? What do you want to do?
Yeah, let's get into spoilers. So
Okay.
let me know what are some of the main things that you want to talk about for the spoilers.
So I was a little bit let down. Like I kind of already knew that Matt
Oh, we're
Murdock was
starting
going
off
to
with
be in it.
negatives.
Oh, is that what you want to do? You want to start with
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
can start with
No
positives.
worries. No worries. Yeah, go ahead with what you're saying.
So, I mean, maybe this is me being greedy. I knew Matt Murdock was going to be in the movie, but I was a little let down with how they used him. He was in it for like 30 seconds. So I was kind of hoping it'd be more. But hey, I don't think that they would have brought him in and wasted that. So I do believe that they're going to use him in the future. Kevin Feige will either have his own movie with him or have him jump into different New York based MCU movies. So we'll see. But it was only like 30 seconds. So that was a little disappointing. I think that maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'll just move into the positive. Yeah, I don't really want to harp on this movie for the negatives because I really do enjoy it. So I don't want to focus on that. I'm actually just going to go into the positives and stick with that because I really do love this movie and I don't want to be that person to nitpick stuff. So instead of being that person, listen, them juggling the concept of this is Tom Holland's movie, but here are the other two Spider-Man that you really love was perfect because you can look at this movie and say, yeah, this is Tom Holland's movie. Like Andrew and Toby are great side characters in it, but they don't overshadow Tom, and they are not the main people in this movie, but they're really good in it. But this is Tom Holland's. This was the most emotional. Aunt May's death, I did not expect. That was totally unexpected. And then, especially following up with the great power comes great responsibility, it did not feel forced. I think that Marissa Tomei did a fantastic job with that whole scene, along with Tom Holland. And it was very moving, I think. And for Tom Holland's character of Spider Man, that scene kind of needed to happen because up until that point, he's still like very innocent and, you know, he kind of still feels like a kid. But at the end of this movie, he feels like he's becoming Spider Man and he's becoming a man,
Yeah.
So unfortunately, yes, I feel like Aunt May for his character arc did need to pass. He needed a big loss. Maybe it wasn't Aunt May, maybe it could have been MJ, whatever. He needed that big loss to kind of like restructure his life of Spider-Man and being Peter Parker. Because at the end of the movie, what does he do? He takes the ultimate sacrifice of letting go everyone who knows Peter Parker. And he's essentially going to be going forward, starting off knowing nobody, being by himself and needing to figure things out without Doctor Strange helping him. He's going to need to figure things out without Iron Man helping him. He needs to figure things out without Ned being the guy in the chair. So I feel like this is kind of like a new version of our Spider-Man. And Toby and Andrew, I don't believe that they're going to be using them again. I feel like they brought them in for this. The multiverse thing was big hype. But I don't think that we're going to be getting Spider-Man 4. I don't think we're going to be getting Amazing Spider-Man 3. I think they just came in for a couple weeks to do this, and then that's going to be the
Same
end of
here.
it.
Yeah. Let me tell you my favorite scene. I really loved when they first meet up when Tom Holland, Peter Parker is hanging out on top of that building
Hmm.
right after Aunt May dies. That's my favorite scene there when they're talking about Uncle Ben, their past,
Not
their
being bitter. Yeah.
exactly. That is my favorite scene out of the whole movie. What was your favorite scene?
Um, that's tough to say. I mean, part of me wants to say like the last 30 minutes, but that's not really fair. I really enjoyed the parts that all three of them were kind of just having that banter back and forth. Like right before the big battle starts, they're at the not the Empire State Building, Statue of Liberty, and they're talking about the web shooters and how Toby can just like do it. He says, "Well, you don't just do breathing; you just breathe." It's like that banter between all of them. I really enjoyed. I don't like Andrew as Spider-Man, but in this movie he worked. He was actually really funny, and I enjoyed his character. You know, right before the big battle, I just want to tell you guys I love you guys. Like that was funny. I like that part. So I like, and then also another small part with Andrew is his redemption. He wasn't able to save Gwen Stacy, in Amazing
Yeah.
Spider-Man 2. And he saves MJ and he gets down and MJ is in shock and she's like, "Oh my God, like you saved me." But what do you see in Andrew's face? He sees relief. He sees fear because of he already had to go through that exact same motion before and he wasn't able to save the person he loved, but this time he redeemed himself and he saved the person that a version of him loves. And you can just see it in his face and it was heartbreaking. It was you do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, Andrew Garfield. I think he was a pretty good Spider-Man. He's not one of my favorites. I know a lot of people really like him as Peter Parker. They say he's like the pinnacle of Peter Parker. Um, but I really like how Holland has handled being Peter Parker, and you could like these movies were essentially his origin story. Like a lot of people, started off with, this film, this iteration of Spider-Man doesn't have a origin story, but little do we know, this whole entire series has been an origin story. So I really do hope. I know, um, I don't know if it's been confirmed, but there's going to be, a new trilogy. I think they confirmed that there's going to be another Spider-Man film, right?
It's not confirmed. It's not greenlit, but there definitely is going to be. The movie freaking made 600 million worldwide opening weekend. There's going to be another one.
Oh yeah, more than likely. Um, as far as some nitpicks that I had, one, um, getting a little greedy. I wish there was more interaction between Tobey Maguire Spider-Man and Norman Osborn. I wish there was like a little
Mm.
bit of something talking about Harry or something of that nature. That would have been icing on the cake for me. It kind of felt like, whenever he stabs him, he doesn't know who he is, right? Did you kind of get that feeling whenever
Yeah,
that
I
happened?
mean that wasn't Norman. That was the other guy, the Green Goblin. That wasn't Norman that stabbed him.
Yeah, I get what you're saying there, but I felt like even when he was the Goblin in the past film, in the original, um, he knew he was, Peter Parker. You know, he was
Yeah, I get what you're
Spider-Man.
saying.
Peter
I
Parker
get
was
what you're
Spider-Man.
saying.
There's just like
Yeah.
little things like that don't really add up, but to make a film like this, there's going to be things like that happen.
Yeah.
In the runtime. This is a 2.5 hour movie,
It didn't feel like it. Not
right?
to me at least.
Yeah. And then, how do you feel in regards to um, the situation with Ned being able to, you know, have that magic power and almost perfect it?
It was very convenient, I'll say
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Very convenient. It didn't bother me, but I don't know. I don't know. I guess convenience the best way to say it, but it didn't really stand out and bother me. And looking back, like, oh, how did Ned do that? He's never mentioned that before. Whatever.
Yeah.
I had so much fun with the movie. That's like the least of my worries.
What did you think of Zendaya in here?
The best performance she's given as MJ. The first one was, and her character's supposed to be like this. The first movie, her character was very stuck to herself, you know, don't talk to me, like that sort of vibe. The second movie, the audience is still trying to believe that Peter wants to be with her, and that Peter has to
Mhm.
win her over. And then in this movie, you truly believe that they should be together. So, along with Tom having a character arc, Zendaya has a character arc because in this movie, she was not the same MJ as Spider Man Homecoming. She was not very off putting. She was a little more welcoming and she made more jokes and she got along with Ned and she was willing to help, you know?
Yeah, how did you feel about uh Peter's decision at the end to, hold off on, letting them know what indeed happened and that they know each other?
I, I don't know if I could have done that, man. It was very mature of him to do that, I suppose. But what I think going forward is going to happen is I think that, MJ and Ned, they go to Boston, MIT, that's what they're supposed to do. I think we're going to see Tom Holland checking in on them, and we're going to see them through like the window or whatever. But I believe that because Zendaya's schedule is getting packed too, she's a very hot star right now. I think they're going to bring in Gwen Stacy, and that's going to be the new love interest for Peter Parker, for Tom Holland.
Oh, you really think so?
Yeah,
Oh, wow. That would be interesting. Wow. Can you imagine a love triangle like that?
I don't think it's going to be a love triangle. I think
You
that
oh, okay.
Zendaya is going to be on the back burner in Spider-Man 4. And that was part of the reason why he didn't tell them who he was. I think that they're going to move to a different love story.
Mhm. It looked like he was going to say something, but until she put the her hair behind her ear and he saw the Band-Aid, I think he like realized, oh, I can get them hurt, you
Yeah.
know. So I think that's what they were trying to convey in that scene. Um, with the thing with Ned, do you think he would be friends with Ned again then, or what do you think?
That is a tough one. No,
No.
if 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 my theory is right of him moving to Gwen, like moving on to Gwen Stacy, and then Ned and MJ going to Boston and doing MIT, I think he's just going to check in on them and we're going to see them through like a window. And maybe we'll get a scene where Ned is like, man, look at Spider-Man save that person. I wish I knew Spider-Man. But like, I don't think that they're going to be friends again. I hope they are because I love Jacob Bartholone, his character.
Hmm.
But I don't know. I don't know if the new director, because John Watts, I doubt, is going to do Spider-Man 4 if he's going to focus on Fantastic Four. I don't know if they're going to do that. But hey, time will tell.
True, and they could possibly introduce, a Harry. It,
So I was also thinking about that, but remember when Norman came and he was at the homeless shelter and he says, I didn't know where to go. Oscorp does not exist.
oh yeah. Well, it could
So,
be like how we have MJ, different names. It could be like a
oh,
Harry
okay.
so and so. A
So
different.
it could be Harry, but not necessarily Harry Osborn.
Yeah,
Okay,
it'd be
that could
something like
work. And
that.
maybe he could still, in some form, become some sort of Green Goblin. Okay.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to see. We're speculating here.
Yeah, now we're speculating. Yeah.
Yeah, but um, uh, the introduction of both the Spider-Mans and the apartment was hilarious. That was one of the best scenes as well. Um, and Aunt May's death. I had to say I didn't really feel it for me, but um, when things were coming to a head and when they're on that building having that conversation, at that part I really did feel it. So, like you said, Aunt May's death, it had to happen for him to, really become Spider-Man.
Hmm. Yep.
Anything else you wanted to say in regards to Spider-Man?
No, I've done a lot of Spider-Man talking today. I think that I'm Spider-Maned out.
Yeah.
But hey, I've seen it twice, and I'm definitely going to see it again this week before Christmas. I have a hankering to see it a third time. So
All right. Okay, I know I gotta let you go. It was really neat talking to you. It was a lot of fun. It was nice going over all these topics and learning more about your channel and what you
yeah,
go through on a daily basis.
I mean, before you let me go, do you want to do one more quick topic? We could talk about like upcoming movies real quick, or maybe the best of 2021 or the worst of 21. I'm willing to do one more quick topic.
Okay, cool. Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about what was some of your favorites for the year. So go ahead and
Okay.
you'll say one, and then I'll say one, and then we'll
Okay,
probably
and
do
we'll go
just
down the
two
list.
rows. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Oh, if we're only doing two rows, I gotta be careful. I gotta choose wisely then. Okay. I think my favorite of the year, I've seen the movie 6 times. Shang-Chi. I love that movie so much.
Oh, Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi, I think that's my favorite of the year.
Really? What was your why would you say that's your favorite?
It was very unexpected, and it was something from the MCU that I hadn't seen before. Now we've been into like magic before, but not so much into like martial arts and dragons and that sort of stuff. And it just, I don't know, it captivated me. I mean, the bus scene, the scene where they're on the skyscraper. Like those are just fantastic. And then the scenes where Shang-Chi is talking to his dad, like it's just I was hooked, man. I was all in on it. It was great. The action was stuff that I've never seen from the MCU before.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's probably my favorite of the year. It's the most fun that I've had this year with a movie. Now, Spider-Man, I had a lot of fun with the movie, and I can't say yet if it's one of my favorites of the year because I just saw it 2 days ago. I need to think about it a little bit more before I make a decision like that.
Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah, Shang-Chi was different enough. It brought some new life, I think, to the MCU because for a bit, I would say it was getting a little bit stagnant. You know, every film kind of felt the same, but Shang-Chi was different enough. Um, and I think like halfway through, it really got a hold of me, and I enjoyed it as well. What do you think of Aquafina? How did you like her in the film?
Okay, so I'm not an Aquafina fan,
Uh-huh.
but in Shang-Chi, she showed me a new side of her, and I really liked her in Shang-Chi, so much so that I was like, okay, what else is she in that maybe I can try and give another chance to? And she has a Comedy Central show called Nora from Queens. And as soon as I watched Shang-Chi and I was all in on the Shang-Chi train, I watched Nora from Queens, and that was actually a really good show. I enjoyed it. So, but like Aquafina and stuff like Neighbors 2, that didn't work for me. Crazy Rich Asians, I know a lot of people like that, but her character in there, I wasn't really feeling it. She was also in Raya and the Last Dragon. That was just like, okay, that's voice acting, that's fine. But in Shang-Chi, loved it. She was awesome in that, and I really like her in Nora from Queens. Now, she does have a dramatic movie. I think it's called The Farewell. I haven't seen that. That is supposed to be more dramatic, and that is also supposed to be a good movie.
Oh yeah, I think I've heard of that one. I think it's like something having to do with her grandmother or something like that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah, have heard of that one. Yeah, I think she got some praise for her performance in there, so definitely have to check that one out. So one of my favorites for this year, I'll keep it in horror related. It's going to be Last Night in Soho.
Mm.
That film, I just love that film. I love the noir feel of it. I like the performances. Edgar Wright, he's great. He's a great director. Like the scene when they're dancing and they're interchanging. Have you seen the movie? Have you seen it?
I loved it.
Yeah. When they're interchanging between Anya Taylor Joy and what's her name? Uh, anyways, when they're interchanging the actors in that dance scene, like it's done to perfection. It's pretty crazy. I like how it gets bonkers at the end. Um, I love mystery films, so the mystery in it, I think, was very well done. I didn't see it coming. Did you see it coming?
So there was a couple things in that movie that I saw coming that I was starting to guess,
Uh huh.
but there was also a bunch of things that I did not see coming. And that was great about this film is that it was able to still keep me on my toes a little bit, even though I thought I had everything figured out.
Yeah, they do very well with red herrings, and I like the fish out of water aspect as well.
Yeah,
I think overall, it's definitely one of my favorites for the year. All
most
right,
definitely. It's gonna be in my top 10.
top 10. All right, and that's like films overall. You're not just sticking with horror.
Yeah, top 10 films of 2021. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Go ahead. Let me know another film.
All right, so I'm gonna stick with the horror aspect, and I'm gonna
Okay.
go with A Quiet Place 2. Did you see that?
Yes, I did.
That movie, honestly, I think I love the first Quiet Place. I think this one was better than the first one. It was very intense, and them not having John Krasinski in the movie. I mean, yes, he was in the beginning, and yes, he was the director, but he was not a forefront character. I was nervous about it, but it still worked really, really well. And they put the kids, specifically the little girl, in more of the forefront in this movie, and she did a phenomenal job. I don't know the actress's name, but she plays the deaf
Hmm.
child, the
Yeah.
little girl. Dude, it was just as intense as I could have hoped. It was a phenomenal movie. I bought it as soon as it was available.
Yeah, I really enjoyed A Quiet Place too. I just felt that the ending was a bit anticlimactic, but overall, I thought it was pretty good. I do have a couple of gripes, but I thought it was pretty good. I still like the first Quiet Place better. Did you say that you liked the second one better or the first one?
I think I prefer the second one.
You like the second one?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's his name? Um, the new character in the movie.
The new male lead.
Yeah. Oh,
What is his character's name? Cillian Murphy.
yeah. Cillian Murphy. He's great in the movie. I really liked him.
Yeah, he did a really good job. So what's another movie from 2021 that you would put in your favorites?
I'm going with The Night House. Have you seen this one?
I have not. No, I've heard no bad things about that movie.
The Night House is really, really good. I caught it at the Phoenix Film Festival earlier this year, and everything that I had heard about it came true. It was really good. Um, Great performance by why am I forgetting actors' names? But what's her name? Rebecca? No.
Let me see.
Uh,
Let me see if I can look it up.
so Rebecca Ferguson?
All right, The Night House has
No,
Rebecca Hall
Rebecca Hall. I knew it was Rebecca. But
and Sarah
yeah,
Goldberg.
yeah, Rebecca Hall, great performance. She carries the movie. A very, uh, very seldom ending. Um, I think you'll really like it. It's kind of like if you liked films kind of in the vein of like Hereditary or um, just like depressing type feeling movies. But this movie has a bit of like dark comedy to it. Some of the
Okay.
things that they talk about, there's some dark comedy to it. So, but there's definitely a revelation in the movie that I did not see coming. I think it's all very well done. You should check it out.
All right, I'll get. I'm gonna have to put it on the never-ending list, but I have
I
heard
know
good things about it.
there were so many films this year, and it's pretty crazy because we're still living with the pandemic, and a lot of films were pushed back because they were afraid of releasing in theaters. So I don't know if this was a year where films were actually coming out when they were supposed to. I think we'd have a lot more on our plate.
Most definitely.
All right then. Okay. We're all good here.
I mean, you're running the show. You tell me.
All right. Well, I guess we'll end it here. It was very nice having Jace on the show. Thank you so much for Nick for stopping by, leaving some comments, discussing Evil Dead and all those other topics. Go ahead and let everyone know where they can find you, Trace.
Yep. So you can find me on YouTube under Pierce Productions, and you can also find me on Instagram under Pierce Productions YT because someone else took Pierce Productions. So that's
Oh,
where you can
okay.
find me.
Yeah, okay. I'll put that YT on there at the end. All right. It was great having you on. And
Yes.
until
Thank
next
you.
time, we definitely got to do something again.
Oh yeah, definitely. I want to get you on my channel for a our film fan community video. So we'll have to
Okay,
figure that
cool.
out after the holidays.
All right, my friend. Okay. This is going to end this program. Thanks so much for
All
watching,
right.
everyone.
Thank you.